This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Oof, that stolen semi-truck tractor ended up in a standoff with police, and it caused a part of I-205 to get temporarily shut down yesterday morning. The details of that chase coming up in just a few minutes.
And next month, Oregon's minimum wage is set to rise. The increase is part of an annual bump, but the amount depends on where you live. We'll break down the details ahead.
And we are also live this morning in downtown Portland, checking out Rivers, Roses, and Rip City, the remarkable history of Portland. It's the brand new exhibit featured here at the Oregon Historical Society. Now, there are more than 500 pieces of history within this single exhibit. We could talk all about it, but why don't we go check it out? So Eric Patterson, I hold the door for you, my photographer and friend. Eric leads the way. We invite you to join us as well. A tour of this brand new Portland history exhibit coming up this morning right here on Sunrise.
Oh, cool. How interesting. Okay, I'm excited to learn more about all that stuff. Drew, we're going to check back in with you in a bit. But first, good morning. Glad to see you here with us on this, what is it? Tuesday. I know.
Some of us had a day off yesterday.
I did have a day off. Great to be back, though. Okay, what are we looking at weather-wise today, Chris?
We're looking at a slightly cooler day than yesterday, but not bad at all, and a mostly dry forecast for us as well. This is the live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. We got the gnats on the camera lens up there at 550 feet atop the Wells Fargo Tower. You can see the beginnings of what will be a colorful sunrise out there. Last check at the airport were 60. Elsewhere across the region, waking up to 50s. It's a little warmer this morning than yesterday. 55 in Beaverton, 53 Sherwood. And as we slide south down into the valley, we're in the upper 50s right now in Salem. All right, here's the plan for today. We're starting with a front that's going to sweep through the area. So that's going to kick up the clouds here mid-morning. Those clouds will be fairly thick for some of us before noon. But then as we head into the afternoon, the clouds clear and we're on our way to highs in the mid-70s. So it's just about right for this time of the year. Let's get you out the door and a live look at the roads as we check out I-5 down near Wilsonville. We had an earlier crash. Actually, it just cleared. It was on the shoulder there near Wilsonville Road on northbound I-5. For perspective at home, the headlights coming into your living room there. That's the northbound I-5 commute. That looks good. Quick check of the west side, Highway 26 out near Cornelius Pass Road. That's in good shape. And a quick check of the east side out in Gresham. No problems there either. Guys, the freeways are in good shape this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. We begin at 5 with a suspect in custody after investigators say he stole a semi-truck, rammed 2 sheriff's vehicles, then led police on a chase across state lines. It started yesterday morning when the owner of the semi called to report it stolen. Deputies tracked it to Blue Lake Park in Fairview, where they say the guy rammed a patrol car to get away, injuring a deputy in the process. They say he then led deputies on a chase that ended with a standoff on I-205 in Vancouver, which prompted a full closure of the highway. Both the driver and passenger surrendered after about an hour. The driver, 39-year-old Jesus Meza Sanchez, was booked into the Clark County Jail on 5 charges. The passenger was released without any charges.
And another man at the center of a different chase through Portland and Gresham this past Friday is now facing felony charges. On Friday evening, officers responded to a report of a stolen car being driven by a person who police say had known history of illegal gun possession. After officers located the car near Southeast 122nd Avenue in Southeast Powell, the driver sped away. Video shows the driver, identified as 24-year-old Dalton Williams of Beaverton, weaving in and out of traffic, nearly causing several crashes. Authorities say he reached up to 110 miles per hour at one point. He eventually crashed head-on into a police car on Northeast Knott Street near 16th. Police say he then ran from the crash, going through several yards before entering a house. Williams eventually surrendered to officers and a canine. He's now in the Multnomah County Jail on 9 different charges.
If you work a minimum wage job in Oregon, get ready to see your paycheck go up.
Yeah, it'll increase by 50 cents on July 1st. For more on why this is happening and what to expect, here's Devin Haskins. Good morning, Devin.
Yeah, good morning. So the jump in pay happens every year. State legislators created an automatic schedule of annual increases back in 2016. It is based off inflation using the Consumer Price Index. This year, the state's minimum wage is going up 50 cents. But how much you make depends on the county you live in. The state has 3 separate minimum wages. You can see those areas in green, blue, and the 3 tiny red dots at the top of the screen. In a non-urban wage in green, the standard wage in blue, and a higher wage for the Portland metro area. Those in the non-urban counties will make $13.70 an hour. The standard wage jumped from $14.20 to $14.70 an hour. And the Portland metro wage for those living within the urban growth boundaries in Multnomah, Clackamas, and Washington counties will increase to $15.95 an hour. Washington, your minimum wage already increased on January 1st, and the federal minimum wage will not increase in 2024. It's remained at $7.25 an hour since 2009. Oregon and Washington are two of the country's 30 states that set their own minimum wage. Guys?
Okay. Thank you so much, Devin. To a major crowdfunding effort underway right now to save the Oregon Children's Theater. They say about $150,000 is what they need to stay open through the summer. The theater says there are lots of reasons, but the pandemic, money lost from canceled shows during the January ice storm, and cuts in regional funding all play a role. They say increasing ticket prices to cover rising labor and production costs won't be enough. That means if the goal isn't met, they won't return to the stage this fall.
I truly believe that the loss of the arts in the lives of young people is catastrophic. And if we don't have these kinds of tools in our development as young people, mental health issues just continue to skyrocket, and our social emotional well-being is decimated. The arts literally can change people's lives in that way.
As of this morning, the theater has raised some $25,000. You can find a link to help in our article at KGW.com.
2 Portland chefs walked away with an award in this year's James Beard Award last night. In Chicago, Gregory Gourdet, a former Top Chef contestant and the owner of Cannes, won Best Chef in the Northwest and Pacific for the 3rd time. And Northwest Portland's Long Bon, which describes itself as a refined Thai spot that uses local ingredients, won the coveted Outstanding Restaurant Award.
Continue to take care of each other, continue to take care of our guests, and continue to take care of our communities. Those are one of the most important things for me.
That was the owner and executive chef of Long Bon, Earl Ninsum. Both Long Bon and Cannes were among 6 Oregon restaurants and chefs nominated this year. So congratulations to both spots for the huge achievement.
Have either of you guys been to either of those spots?
I've been to Cannes.
Okay.
I've been waiting to get into Cannes.
Was it? I don't know how we got in, but we did.
Well, but we had, of course, Gregory Gourdet right here live at our studio, a couple of months ago. And that was amazing.
Right. Cannes, I still need to go. Long Bon, amazing. Awesome food.
Yeah, I need to go there next.
I need to find out who you know to get us some
I know someone.
All right, we will not make you wait for the forecast. Let's get you out the door. This is a live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. Excuse the gnats that are enjoying this lovely view from atop Portland's tallest skyscraper here. We are looking east towards what should be a really colorful sunrise here in just a little bit. 60 last check at the airport as we take you to the North Oregon coast. Cannon Beach beginning to get a little cloudier. That is our next weather maker moving in, and about all it's going to do is kick up the clouds for us. But for those of you along the Oregon coast here, we are seeing at least some sprinkles showing up just offshore on radar. So Astoria, Cannon Beach down towards at least central Tillamook County, a reasonable chance for a sprinkle or two or maybe a little drizzle this morning as that front sweeps on through. We'll give you the bigger perspective here across the region. Low pressure working its way towards the northern tip of Vancouver Island, and that'll drag a little push of marine air. Not a little push, a pretty strong push actually, which will kick up the clouds for us and also make for some windy conditions through the East Columbia River Gorge. We'll check that out in a second. Here's Futurecast at 8 o'clock. We start the morning with some early sun, but the clouds do thicken up as we roll through the mid-morning hours, and you can see our modeling even showing a few blips of green on the map in some of the higher terrain in the Coast Range, possibly even up in the Cascades. I don't think this happens. The chance of seeing a sprinkle in the metro area is almost nil here. But in any event, that front sweeps on through and we will clear later on this afternoon. It will also, as we mentioned, drive a pretty gusty west wind through the Columbia River Gorge. And for that reason, from just east of Hood River and out towards the Dalles and into the Columbia Basin, you folks are under a wind advisory today. Check this out on Futurecast. West winds gusting 30 to 40. In fact, that magenta shade is up around 50 miles an hour for portions of the East Columbia River Gorge and out into the basin. So just be aware of that if you're traveling that direction or you live out there. It's going to be a windy one for sure on that side of the state. The rest of us enjoying a pretty nice day. All right, through the gorge, not as hot as yesterday. The Dow's will be in the 70s again with that west wind ratcheting up later today. Central Oregon will begin to feel that west breeze as well, with temperatures in the low 80s and some sunshine for you folks. Plenty of sun, actually. At the coast, morning low clouds and even a little drizzle, especially for the north coast as you get up towards Astoria and points north. In the Willamette Valley and the I-5 corridor up towards Longview and Battleground in Vancouver will all be a little cooler today. We were 80 degrees at PDX yesterday. I've got Portland right around 75 or 76, and you'll see that reflected here with Futurecast. Midday temperatures at lunchtime, low to mid 60s, and then with the afternoon clearing, we should get up to about 73 to maybe 75 degrees. And there you go. Partly sunny this afternoon, sunny and warm tomorrow, 76, sunny and perfect on Thursday, and we cool it off just a little bit heading into Father's Day week.